it's really... I don't know how this video is gonna go. Okay. Hi, my name is Shibbler, and I'm struggling to feel real these days. I'm recording this video on the 14th of January, and the reason that I state that is because if I do put this video out, which I don't know if I am going to do, it won't be for a while yet. 2 days ago I put out an EP called Everyone's a Jazz Doctor But Me. So I'm kind of like right in the middle of this EP rollout, and being an independent musician, an EP rollout is basically just being on my phone all the time. I'm making short form content for TikTok and Instagram Reels, and I've got a few videos planned for YouTube to do with the EP and kind of promotion of it that I'm going to be recording over the next week or two and putting out. There's just like it's all on my phone, and listen, not to be that guy, but I don't like phone that much. I'm not bothered. But if I want people to hear my music, I gotta do these things. I gotta, make the short form content, and I've gotta email these mysterious playlist entities to say, hey, here's a song that I just made. Maybe put it on your playlist so people can hear it. I do think that element specifically is a huge chore, but it's just something that I kind of have to do. But it's kind of taking me out of being here. I'm struggling to find presence when so much of what I'm doing at the moment is on the same platforms that I use for recreation, I guess. I'm finding it very easy to I come out here and I film a bunch of TikTok, just me standing here playing one of the songs from the EP, and then I go home and I edit them all, and then I upload them, and then I gotta upload them a few times a day. I do a couple a day, and then once it's uploaded, I'm going back on these apps to check the engagement and reply to comments, because if you engage more, I guess these algorithms boost posts more. So but I'm opening these apps many times a day, and every time I'm opening them to do something that's related to the promotion of my EP, I often find myself just getting sucked into mindless scrolling. I'll open TikTok just to reply to get a notification that I got a comment, and then something's on the homepage, and I just get sucked in and I just start scrolling, and then I've wasted 5-10 minutes of my day before I realize I'm here, I'm a person, I have autonomy. First world problems, right? This isn't a unique problem that I'm having. I understand that most people my age are dealing with this on a daily basis, but it's something that I've just been struggling with, particularly recently, having to be specifically on these apps, to be on TikTok and to be on Instagram, to do my stuff, to get my music out there. I don't like it. It doesn't make me feel good. That whole process of getting sucked into this mindless scrolling thing. It's the total antithesis of being pure, being aware of just like being grateful, being thankful, being mindful of the fact that you can be anything right now, and what you're choosing to be in that moment is nothing. You forget that you're even here by just scrolling away 10-15 minutes, and this isn't a phone bad lecture. I'm not telling you how to live your life, but I'm just having a tough time with it. And the thing is, for me, is that if my phone wasn't such an essential tool for what I do, for being able to get my music out there, to tell people that it exists, I don't think I'd have one, like not a smartphone. I think I like the idea of having just a flip phone that could just make calls and texts. But unfortunately, if I want my music to be heard, if I want anybody to pay attention and to get noticed for what I do, you can't not play the game. And I don't want to give off the impression that that this is a chore for me, that I don't enjoy making these videos, because it's not. I like doing the YouTube thing. It's something that I've always found fun since I was a kid. It's just another kind of creative outlet in a way, just less with lessened stakes, I guess, to the actual music that I'm putting out there, just to be able to hop on and make a video. It is good fun. I do enjoy it, and I'm enjoying the short form content as well, that I'm doing on Instagram and TikTok. I enjoy making things. Because I'm a creative person, I do get a sense of satisfaction from making things, significant or insignificant. When I make a TikTok video, it's like, that, and then I make a YouTube video and it's like that, and then I make music and it's like that. But I still enjoy making things. My problem is with the platforms that I have to engage with and share the thing that I'm making on, because I'm human, man. I get so wrapped up in numbers and stuff like that. It's not something I'm proud to admit, but it's the same cheap dopamine that you get when you're scrolling. It's when I'm checking I'm checking the Spotify for Artists app to see if my streams have gone up, or checking my TikTok to see if the video that I just posted did really well and got loads of likes and comments or whatever. It gets its claws in you. It's so manipulative, and it's so easy to become consumed by it, even if you're totally disinterested in the whole thing, like I am. And it's something that can even affect my songwriting amidst this whole EP rollout, especially when I'm getting notifications from all these apps saying someone liked this, someone shared this, whatever. Because I write on my phone. I use my notes app to write songs. I have a songbook that I write songs with my pen and paper when they're finished. But when I'm making a song, I like to use my notes app, because personally I know most songwriters are very, very purist about it, and they like pen and paper because it's more sacred or whatever, and that, if you like that, that's fine, but you don't gotta be a dick about it. I like my notes app because it's very freeing for me. I don't write songs in a linear fashion. I'll usually have a chord progression, have an idea, write some lyrics to that melody that I've just come up with, and then usually that'll either be like a chorus or a second or third verse. It's and then I like kind of building songs out from the middle. So to have that ability in a notes app to not be I suppose locked in when you write something down, that this is the thing that comes first. I like being able to just move, write in blocks and move them around to see what works best. But that's the thing, right? Is it when I'm on my phone writing stuff, I'm strumming away on my guitar, I got my phone on the table in front of me, and I every now and then I pick it up and I write something down as I'm coming up with ideas, because that's where all the stuff is. Not only the work that I'm doing for my music stuff, but also the hundreds and millions and billions of short form content, the endless reels of reels. It's easy when I hit a wall when I'm songwriting, when something's not working and I'm getting frustrated, to just pull some shit up and get distracted, and then I've spent more time scrolling than I have writing, and it's hard. And again, I know I'm totally not alone in that. It's something that is seemingly all young people are dealing with, because you've got these little devices in our pockets that are designed to hold our attention for as long as possible, by whatever means necessary. It's just difficult not kind of being able to I suppose draw a line between that and promoting my music. 'Cause I guess I don't really know how else to put it, because it's all happening in the same, or a lot of it's happening in the same place. Every second that I'm using one of these apps, whether I am just scrolling or whether I am, making a TikTok for promo, whatever it is, every second I'm on one of these apps, I don't feel here. I feel like I'm on autopilot in my own body. It's very strange, and it's a very gross feeling. I think it's not pleasant. It's not visceral, but it's a looming kind of dread, and there's a level of shame and guilt there as well, for not only feeling like you're not doing as much with your time as you could or should be, but also personally I feel like a hypocrite for having to solely rely on the internet to promote my song about the climate crisis. The lead single for the EP that I just put out is called Gigantopithecus, and it's this, indie folk, poppy, acoustic tune about consumerism and the climate crisis, and the fact that I am telling everybody to go listen to this song that I made about why all this stuff is bad, posting loads and loads of TikToks on the internet, and it just feels wrong, because you know this already, but the stuff on the internet isn't nowhere. It's in servers that need to be powered by electricity, and there's so much internet and so many people are on it all the time. You can't even imagine, no one can imagine how much it actually takes to just keep this thing on in your pocket. And again, I'm not trying to lecture you or pass any sort of guilt onto you. It's just, at the moment, I'm just sort of, my arms had reached out trying to grasp for any sort of presence. About 1.5 years ago, I became really interested in meditation and mindfulness, and I developed techniques and built habits, and I did things daily to live mindfully, and it was great, and it was really good for my head. I'm not someone who personally suffers with poor mental health regularly, and I wouldn't say I'm suffering from poor mental health right now, despite all this whinging that I'm doing. But I felt like it was really good for me. I felt great. But since committing to weekly uploads on YouTube, all that sort of faded. I really struggle now to live mindfully, and I fell out of a lot of the habits that I had built up, and now I kind of just struggle to pull myself away from my phone sometimes, and it's bad because I can justify it to myself sometimes as if like, oh, I'm spending so much time on my phone because I'm doing work, I'm promoting my music, I'm getting myself out there, but it's complicated. I find that I have a very complicated relationship with technology at the moment. It's sometimes difficult to be aware of and appreciate the fact that I am here and I have a beating heart, and there is blood pumping through my veins while I'm scrolling through these comments of all these like scam playlisting accounts saying, give me 40 quid and I'll put your song in this playlist. I guarantee you 50,000 monthly listeners in this amount of time. And it's just, it's all these people vying for your attention, just because they want to rinse, they want to take advantage of your desperation to be seen. It's fucking exhausting, to be honest. But I mean, there are much worse problems to have. I mean, as I'm recording this video right now, LA is on fire, Gaza is rubble. I mean, I'm just setting up my camera and having a bit of a whinge about my, menial little grievances. But there's real important shit going on in the world right now, which is why I'm not posting this video as I'm recording it. That's why I'm going to hold on to it, and maybe it won't come out at all. Maybe no one will ever see this. And what also makes it difficult to feel present sometimes is fog. Is this kind of heavy fog, light drizzle kind of weather. And again, I don't want to sound like I'm complaining. I'm very grateful for the weather cycle. It's one of the greatest joys, really, is waking up in the morning and looking out the window and just seeing what you have to work with. I really like that. I like that part of waking up every morning, and I don't try to let weather conditions dictate my mood or stop me from what I'm doing, because, you know, I'm still out here in the rain because I like it. This is actually, honestly, this is probably my favorite weather, apart from, you know, clear sky, 30 degrees, sun beating down, you know, beating down, beating. I don't know about that one. You know what I'm saying though. Yeah, I like this. This is great. But fog has this very surreal kind of dreamlike quality, and in the headspace that I'm in now, where I'm just like, oh, I don't feel as real as I could be feeling. It's not exactly helping. But I suppose that's why I need to get back into those mindfulness techniques, because I need to just appreciate it for what it is. It's quite beautiful, actually. I don't know, I think it is. I guess it's just because I live by the sea, but I don't know. I think when it's foggy and you kind of by a body of water, there's something very peaceful about that, and very, in a strange way, warming, even if it is cold and wet. I watched the film Unbreakable last night, and standing here in this kind of poncho coat thing, I feel like the main character in that film. I didn't like the ending. It really puzzled me. I was really into it up until that point, like literally the last scene, and there's a big twist ending at the end of that film, and I didn't care for it at all, and it kind of made the whole thing feel pointless. The film is about a middle-aged security guard played by Bruce Willis, and at the start of the film he's on a train and everything seems normal, and the train crashes and everybody on the train dies, but he walks away with not a scratch, which sort of leads him to the realization, and other people around him to the realization, that he might be invincible. It's sort of a grounded take on a superhero origin story, but it's not what you might think when I say that. It's not kick-ass. It's not based on a comic. It's just kind of inspired by comic books. But it's a family drama more than it is a superhero movie. This film hooked me. I was really into it right up until that final scene where there's this big twist reveal, and then the film just ends. But I don't feel like it should end on that reveal. It feels like the main character has so much more to process with the information that has been revealed to him in that moment. Basically, there's a character to be as vague as possible, there's a character in the film who helps him come to this realization that he might actually be invincible and have these superhero-like powers, and helps him become, you know, grateful for this gift. And also, in that realization, the main character kind of finds himself as a man, because when we meet him at the beginning of the film, he's kind of all over the place. He's moving away from his family. His marriage has fallen apart. He's kind of a broken man, and then through this realization of that he does have these powers, he also, you know, helps him find himself. But then we learn that the guy who helps him find himself isn't all he's made out to be, and it feels like there's so much more movie there, for the potential for the protagonist to then have to process the fact that this guy who helped him become who he was isn't who he said he was. I don't know, the movie just ends with then 2 blocks of text just telling you what happens next, and I felt so cheated. I just sat there in a daze. I was like, there's more to this story. I just came away from that film with such a great sense of dissatisfaction, which is, it kind of feels similar to what I've been feeling these last few weeks. The feeling that's coming with having to sort of hand back my awareness of body and mind to be on the internet all the time and promote my music. You know, I don't know what the feeling is, but it's akin to the feeling of disappointment that I got from the ending of the film Unbreakable. And now I've woken up today and it's so foggy, and I feel like I can't see forward. Maybe I am letting the weather dictate my mood, or maybe it's just a coincidence, but like the fog that surrounds me, literally surrounds my body right now. I feel like my mind is clouded, and I don't really know what I can do to claw back some sense of presence for myself while I'm trying to get noticed as a musician. We've created so many problems for ourselves in the 21st century. Weird being a person with a phone. Yeah, that's it from me. Cheers.